Boo! Hello, YouTube. My name is Dungeon Cleaner, and if you've never seen any of my videos yet, they mostly entail Elden Ring stuff. This particular one is going to showcase a build of mine that is a focus on blood loss slash other arcane stuff, and this particular guy's name is Pazuzu. I tried to make him look kind of like Pazuzu from The Exorcist. Did I do a good job? Please rate it in the comments. Anyways, let's look at the build. So, first off, we'll look at the stats here. He's a level 200, 60 vigor, 20 mind, 25 endurance, 35 strength, 35 dexterity, 9 intelligence, 30 faith, and 68 arcane. So, you may ask, why does your stats look like that? Well, I'll tell you. Because I'm fucking awesome. The first thing we're going to check out is, because we're an invader build for the most part, I do like Mogwin's Sacred Spear. It's not near as nasty as it was before they patched it several times, but it's still really relevant and fun to catch people off guard with, especially if they want to get aggressive right off the start of the invasion when you're still invulnerable. Just kind of whip it out and, you know, expose yourself in front of everybody and be the life of the party. I also use the Mirai Executioner Sword very rarely. It's not one of my favorite weapons in the world because I'm not the best with the Ash of War, but you can roll catch with the Ash sometimes. Knight's Blood Great Sword plus 25 is a bad motherfucker. Excuse my language. This is not a children's YouTube channel, so if you're a kid, you don't need to be watching my shit. Anyways, we got Sword Dance on it. It has blood loss and it bleeds pretty quickly, so pretty good weapon to have. We don't use Rivers of Blood. We got it, but we never use it. You'll never see me using that. Occult Flamberge. Now, I chose Occult for this weapon because it already has a natural blood loss on it, so we can focus more on the occult damage that we get from having all the arcane that we have on this build. I use the Dragon Communion Seal because it just makes sense since we're an arcane build, and I do have a dragon incantation. Got the Buckler for parrying. We got the Hand Ballista for shooting, of course. The Blood Vulgar Militia Saw, which is another cool thing that if I ever combo stuff a different way, I do it like this. So we got the Militia Saw. It's really good for halberds as far as halberds go. It's got some blood loss on it. And Stormcaller Ash of War, it procs the blood loss really quickly, so you're going to want to use it if you're going to run this build. It's just so handy to have. Switching to the Helix Sword, it's got the really good, it's got the pokes. You want to have the pokes. Got the blood loss pokes. So the running R1 is really good to catch people with and follow up with another R1 if you can. Of course, it's got the finesse, so you can do the whole follow-up and everything else. Just a really good rapier to have if you're a blood loss build. It just works good. Definitely a good counter for Rivers of Blood or Moonveil. Works really good. So earlier you noticed probably that I have these curved swords. And I have them because they're just really good. I got Bloodblade on one, and for the left one, Seppuku. It increases the blood loss buildup. These things are really nasty. You can roll catch with them pretty easy. Like they just have like a really good hit box with it. They got the good jumping L1 to it too. So yeah, just a good setup here. Especially good for people who don't have a whole lot of poise or they don't have a whole lot of defense. So just like you quickly can eat away any kind of a glass cannon. You got a spellcaster far away, you just run them down, tear them open. I mean, if you've played Elden Ring before, you know about the curved swords. You know they're nasty, especially for a blood loss build. So I don't need to go on and on about that. Last but not least, we have a Clean Rot Knight Blood Sword, and it's just a good little pokey weapon if I can hold it. Okay, it's just a good little poke weapon, and it's got quick step on it, so we can try to get some backstabs with it every now and then. Just works pretty good. Nice little weapon. So that's the build. Hope you like it. of course, we're going to look at some invasions. I forgot to show you this weapon here. I really like the Great Stars. I put a Colt on it. I wasn't sure what ash to put on it. I was using Wild Strikes on it before. Just wasn't doing that good, so I put this on it just to, have a punish. Like, it has a good move setup, honestly. It's got the blood loss on it. I put a Colt on it just so it has a lot better of damage. It's got some good damage, so just an all-around good weapon to use. So, yeah, I like it. It's a shame that Wild Strikes isn't as good as it used to be back in the day. Like, I remember when I was invading on a low-level build, like I think it was like around level 20-ish, and I was in Stormvale Castle using this same weapon with Wild Strikes on it a couple years back, and was just putting in work with it, and it was doing great. But anyway, that's all the weapons. I believe I've covered them, so we'll just take a look and see how everything goes in the invasions. Thank you.
Hey.
Let's go ahead and start off with a little seppuku we've already buffed up, and we're going to try to just run down our spellcaster with these curved swords because he does not look like he will be able to take a whole lot of damage. He doesn't look like he has a whole lot of robustness and defense, so we should be able to blood loss him fairly good. So that's what we're going to try to do if we can avoid this other guy. GG! Very fun, clean invasion. Thank you guys. Invasions that are clean are my favorite kind of invasions. Here's a video where I try to show off the Mirai sword with a yokai dancing blade, however you say it. Does a little roll catch right there. Check that out. Nice little roll catch. Utilize that one. This is one of my favorite places to invade, the Subterranean Shunning Grounds. And I remember when I was playing on a level 90, his name was All Scratch. I got plenty of old videos from Elden Ring back in 2022, when it was first launched in March, a couple years back. I think that's when it was. If you fact check me and I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But anyways, it was before all the patches, and the Blood Moon Ritual was crazy OP, Rivers of Blood was crazy OP, telephone's ringing. Sorry I had to take care of that call. It was the lobsters down below me. They were calling to ask me if I could try to trick the players into going down there and having some fun with them. So, yeah. I can't make any promises. I can't work miracles. Or can I? I really didn't go over what talismans I use, but I basically use the same talismans for every build. I got to use the Erd Tree Favor +2, man. You got to have that extra HP mixed with that extra carrying capacity. I mean, it's just a must. I like to use Alexander's Shard because it increases the Ashes of War. The damage on that is just, sometimes it's a must. You can alternate that out with other stuff. For this build, I'll alternate that particular talisman with the Rotten Winged Insignia to increase my my damage, my overall damage, attack power, I guess, with successive hits, because when you use those curved swords, they just hit so often that it procs it a lot. So I use that. Sometimes I'll use the Great Jar Arsenal for the extra carrying capacity, and then I'll use the Crimson Amber Medallion for the extra 200 something HP that it gives, because sometimes one little piece of health like that is a game changer. It's all you need to win. I've won with a tiny piece of health many times. So in some of these clips, you're going to notice that I do also have some incantations. I got Grail's Roar there, and it is so good for invasions. It's not that great in a 1v1 in the arena. It's got a little bit of a tail that lets you know that it's coming, and it can be easily countered or evaded, but it can be properly utilized for an ambush, like going around a corner and popping it off. Make sure that you get enough time to... I mean, it's all about the timing, right? That's with anything. So, especially with stuff like this right here. Throw the swarm of flies down. Little tip for you, a little dungeon cleaner tip. Throw a swarm of flies down because it will stagger your opponent,
And if they're staggered, they obviously can't do anything. They can't dodge or anything. So you stagger them, time it just right, and then follow it up with a deadly attack, and boom! Bing, bang, boom. There it is. These were two gankers. They were hanging out at the first step area. One's fat rolling. He's not that smart. He doesn't understand physics. He doesn't understand that, you know, things can be heavy sometimes. Got the spin to win. Charged R2 with the halberd right there. Feeling really, really good about that. He's pulled out the red lightning poke of death and tries to hit me with it, but I'm not going to let him because that shit hits really hard. This guy just wants to continue to run around with two stupid Godskin skinners, healers, and trying to skin me with it with a jumping attack. And unfortunately for him, I know how to use the L2 button, and there you go. Invasion's over. So, yeah. Jumping L1, you know, doesn't always work. 75% of the time it works every time, but not every time against Dungeon Cleaner. Yeah. GG. Thank you for the fight. I'm going to throw in a little bit of stuff like this, just a quick little clip just to show you Grail's Roar. I was talking earlier how it's not that good in an arena, and here, look, I show you how I used it to win in the arena, and that's not the first time I've done it. I've done it other times too. There's actually a clip on my YouTube channel of me doing it in a different arena, in a different 1v1, on this same character. So, but, you know, it's really, really fun when you use it in an invasion, and you catch your opponent off guard with it. And I got other incantations too. We got the Bestial Vitality. We got, I don't use Bestial Vitality anymore. I switched it up to the Blessing, whatever the Blessing Boon or whatever it's called. And I also use Golden Vow. I've been thinking about maybe switching up Golden Vow with the Black Flame Protection, just because it increases your physical defense by so much more. And this character here, this build, does not have a whole lot of defense particularly. This chest piece looks really cool. I did the helm because it increases Arcane, of course, but it does not have a whole lot of defense. Neither does the chest piece that matches it in a way. I want him to look, you know, I think this is a cool looking, unique looking kind of build. I don't see many people dressed up like this. So I'm here for the fashion, really. I'm here to be a quick little nimble sword swinger dude. And I really love utilizing these curved swords. I know that sometimes they get played out. But I will switch it up. If you switch up, another little Dungeon Cleaner tip, fun fact, if you switch up your weapons enough times playing against the same guy, he's going to get confused and he's going to keep expecting you to use the same stuff over and over again. But you're not going to do that. You're not going to use the same stuff over and over again. So he almost beat me there. I am not going to heal. I refuse. I refuse to heal. This is a honorable fight, so we're going to try to do it without. He probably, I don't know if he ran out of heals or if he was just trying to be honorable too, but if he was, mucho respecto, sir. So yeah, GG. I really love this build, man. Invasions at level 200 are really fun. Just make sure that if you die in the Hailing Tree, you don't, well, oh god. Yeah. I don't even know what to say. It was just too brutal. But yeah, another arena here, and I'm going to try to showcase a little bit more of the Yokai Dancing Blade Ash of War with the Mirai's Great Sword. I like the sword. It doesn't have blood loss on it, but it does scale really good with Arcane. The damage that it does is actually magical damage, oddly enough. So, it's a unique weapon. You know, it's pretty neat. It's got like these blue-looking magical runes on it. It's a cool-looking sword. It's a mysterious kind of sword. I really like the true combo that you can do with it like that right there. It's just so clean and so nice. Makes me happy. So, you know, I'm really digging great swords ever since they changed stuff up. So, but yeah, that was the video. Thank you for watching. Dungeon Cleaner out.